Okay, this is one of these things that, as a man, as a human being, these are very, very big reminders that we need to take care of ourselves and attend to ourselves, because something like this can literally happen to anyone. Normally, I wouldn't go out there and make a big, not super sad kind of video about something like this, but the fact that this actually is a very, very positive update. And it's positive because we're able to see the statement be made. We're able to get Dakota Joshua, who is seemingly healthy and in recovery at this point. This could have been a lot worse. Way, way worse. And the fact is, we are lucky as fans. Dakota Joshua is lucky as a human being. The Canucks are lucky as a hockey team that this is the statement that we are seeing and not anything else, let's say 2, 3, 4 months from now, in a much more grave capacity. So, while this is some pretty terrible news, this is also a really good update to the news. This is a positive update to some very bad news, and we're going to read it out here today. So this is a statement that the Canucks released an hour ago from Dakota Joshua. Take a look at this. This summer, I felt a lump on one of my testicles that doctors would later diagnose as testicular cancer. This news was obviously scary to hear, but thankfully doctors were able to successfully remove the tumor. The last several weeks have been extremely challenging, and I've been fortunate to have the support of my family, friends, teammates, and doctors. Unfortunately, I will not be ready for the start of training camp as I continue to heal from surgery. I plan on returning to play as soon as possible this season, and I'm working very hard every day to rejoin my teammates. Although it was very difficult to face the reality of this specific type of cancer, getting checked by a doctor quickly was the best approach, and I encourage men to get checked regularly for testicular cancer. As I continue with my recovery, I thank everyone in advance for respecting my privacy concerning this matter. The team will provide updates as appropriate. In the meantime, I thank everyone for their support and understanding. Now, I'm going to be honest, the first thing that I thought of when I saw this statement, I was thinking, okay, wait a minute, wasn't Dakota Joshua, participating in the Troy Stecher Foundation practice at Minoru Arenas the other day? Now, I know he was walking around. I actually wasn't there for the first day when a whole bunch of the other players were walking and taking pictures with people, but it is to my understanding that Dakota Joshua was there, and so I am kind of thinking, okay, if it was sometime else during the summer that he was able to get this surgery and, get diagnosed with cancer, then I do kind of question just how far along in the recovery process he is. One may think that because this statement is coming out today on September 17th, 2024, that he actually has been down a pretty reasonable amount of recovery so far. I mean, look, the statement says it's not that he's missing the season, he's not missing the preseason, he's missing training camp. So whether or not that means that Joshua is recovering from, let's say, just the surgery itself, like maybe the stitching or whatever that could be down there, that is a very, very positive update. Very positive. They're able to remove the tumor, they were able to get things done, and now he's just on the road to heal from the surgery. Those are the words that he used. And I think, as a guy, this is a really, really big reminder. Dakota Joshua's a fit dude. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful, he skates well, he hits hard, physically active. Dakota Joshua and NHL athletes, these players are some of the best athletes in the world. Literally, they're pro athletes. They make millions of dollars to showcase their athleticism and prove how their athleticism is better than the other teams. Dakota Joshua is one of the umpteenth percent of human beings in the world, and yet he still had cancer. But he was able to figure it out, and he was able to catch it. He was able to, with the support of doctors, go over to surgery and remove it. Now, testicular cancer has affected NHL players in the past. I think the big one that everybody will talk about is Phil Kessel. He had cancer too, and it was specifically testicular cancer, and he ended up missing some time. Here's the thing right here. Phil Kessel made his NHL debut in 2006, and then on December 11th, Kessel's family announced that he was hospitalized for a reason unrelated to hockey, and then he was diagnosed with a form of testicular cancer. On December 16th, though, so literally just a few days later, Kessel was pronounced cancer-free. So if you scroll down over here, yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. Kessel made his debut in October of 2006. On December 11th, he was hospitalized, and then December 16th, he was cancer-free. So Kessel made a full-on recovery in the span of a few days. Now, I don't want to make it seem like this is like normal. You know, sometimes people, us, human beings, regular folks that are not pro athletes, it takes us a while to recover from stuff, right? Like, I always think to Ryan Getzlaf, because Ryan Getzlaf had appendicitis and he had his appendix removed. Normally, that kind of thing takes a few weeks, I would say, from people in my life who have had to go through that same surgery to fully recover and eventually start walking around again. Ryan Getzlaf was back on the ice playing NHL games like a week later. NHL players have freak bodies. So for Dakota Joshua, I'm not going to go out there and say that there's like a definite timeline as to when he's going to return or whatever, but the fact that this statement even says he's just going to miss the start of training camp. It doesn't even say he's going to miss training camp. He doesn't say he's going to miss the preseason. He just says the start of training camp. Whatever that means, it's okay. This is a very, very positive update for some very, very terrible news. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Dakota Joshua and this statement right here. I'm going to say that I think we got to start checking stuff. If Dakota Joshua can experience this, then for most of y'all guys, like, it sounds so weird, but like, touch yourselves down there, you know, like, learn what is normal, because when things show up that are not normal, that's when you can really start to acknowledge, okay, like, something's different here. Is it painful? Is it whatever? Is it something? Is it sticking out? That's when you have to start really taking charge of your own personal well-being. And it's not even just, you know, down there in the testicular region. I mean, if you get a mole out of nowhere, somewhere on your skin, you get something big that pops up, if you're feeling anything a little bit off, like, you gotta check yourself. It's up to you. It's your responsibility to report when things are not going right in your body. Because worst case scenario, something like this, Dakota Joshua would not have been able to detect it, and he wouldn't have been able to go to the right doctors at the right time to get things done. That last paragraph is really, really telling about this whole thing. Although it was difficult to face the reality of this specific type of cancer, getting checked by a doctor quickly was the best approach, and he encourages guys all the time to get checked for this stuff. That's a man right there. That's a really responsible human being, going out there and using his platform to express concern over what is a very accessible kind of cancer that a lot of guys just would not feel comfortable going out there and even thinking about that they possibly have. So this has been a very, very good piece of news, or a very good update, excuse me, for terrible news. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Dakota Joshua missing the start of training camp due to testicular cancer. For all intents and purposes, from the statement, from the wording, it looks like Dakota Joshua is going to be okay, which is absolutely the best piece of news that we could have gotten. I hope you enjoyed this video, 99, and bye.